Welcome back, everyone. Part 2 of Who Do You Think You Are? The Lease Purchase Driver. This video is going to be kind of long, just a fair warning. There's a lot of information in here, so hopefully you guys will stick it through all the way to the end. There's going to be information all the way through it. So, first off, if you know of anybody that's looking to be, a lease purchase operator or coming into the trucking industry or so on, make sure you give this, video a share. Share this video out to them. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Also, while I got you here and you're paying attention for a quick second, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button for me. And we will get into this video here just a second here. So, this is one of the most popular things around right now is should I go lease purchase and stuff like that. Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you about the pros and the cons of being a lease purchase driver. Okay. So if you want to write down some notes, feel free. Grab a pencil, a paper, or just rewatch the video. Either way. There's definitely a couple things here you gotta, that you gotta check out. You gotta make sure you're gonna do your research. Okay. First off, there's so many companies out there that offer lease purchase, it's not even funny. Okay. And before I get into this video, I just gotta mention that all these new up and comers, a couple of them are fellow YouTubers and stuff like that as well. But since when did trucking become a game? They're referring to, entering the game and all this crap. Trucking's not a game. It's a career. It's a lifestyle. You do it to make money to provide for your family, for your loved ones, your significant other, or even just yourself. But to refer to it as a game, I know it's just a figure of speech, but I mean, maybe that's just the old part of me, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, to continue on with the video, like I said, it's going to be a fairly long video. There's definitely a lot of information in here. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned and stick through it to the end. Okay? Alright, so, like I said, there's a lot of companies that offer lease purchase. Whichever one you go to or decide to, investigate, definitely do your research. There's some for sure questions you got to ask if you want to ask them. I mean, you don't have to. There's nobody putting a gun to your head. Nobody's forcing you to do anything here. This is just my opinion on everything. So you can take it as some advice or what have you. Some people may agree with me. Some people may disagree with what I have to say. It's everybody's got their own opinions. Hopefully with this video, I will ease your mind into either becoming a lease purchase driver or I might even change your mind on being a lease purchase driver. Make you want to just take company. All I'm trying to do is open your eyes and realize, help you realize what the pros and the cons are of it. And then with that, you guys can make your own decisions. Okay. So, with all these companies out here that's offering lease purchase, okay, there's a couple things you may want to ask them. First off, when you're calling them or you're doing your research with them, you want to find out what the truck that you're going to buy, okay, if it's a new truck, used truck, whatever it is. During that lease time of, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, etc., however many years you're going to have on that lease, at some point in time during that lease, if you and the company that you're with, butt heads, don't get along, whatever you may want to call it, are you able to take that truck to another company and continue making your payments? Hopefully without making any kind of a huge down payment or anything like that. Okay, so that's definitely one of the things you want to ask them. If you cannot take your truck to another company, that doesn't necessarily say avoid that company, because they might still have a good lease purchase out there. It might actually work for you. I held out with Knight's lease purchase for a little bit, and I found out, in the meantime, almost halfway through it, that there was a lot of things I didn't really like about the lease after I already was into it, that I didn't bother to realize in the beginning. Okay. And then of course, I was either stuck or I had to turn in the truck. Okay, because I couldn't take it elsewhere. There's another con to it, is and for instance, like my very first lease purchase, which I gotta say, there's a lot of people out there. Not everybody, everybody's different, but there are a lot of people out there that they jump into a lease purchase with the mindset of, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna be home a lot more, and they don't they don't think about other stuff, and then it fails. My very first one failed. I was young and dumb and jumped into it without any kind of research, and I learned from my mistakes, and I believe that's why I'm profitable now, because I jumped into it and I learned from my mistakes. That's the main thing. You got to learn from your mistakes. Okay. But for instance, like, okay, I was leased onto a company buying their truck. I couldn't take their truck anywhere. It was their truck, and I was paying for it. And this is one downfall that you may have to think about, in your process of deciding where you want to go. I was about 6 months out of paying off my loan, or paying off my truck, however you want to consider it, when the company decided that they no longer needed my services and terminated me. At that point in time, I didn't have the money in the bank to finish paying off the truck, with cash or check or whatever. So I had no other opportunity or no other choice than to just turn in the truck and go about my merry way. Now, will I say the company completely screwed me on it? In a way, yes, because of what I got fired for. They could have given me a warning, etc., but we're not going to really get into that too much. Basically, quick said, simple, I was normally a team driver or a trainer at that point in time. And I was out solo for a change, and while I was out solo, they ended up giving me a high value load, and I shut down one night because I was dead tired, and I found me a parking spot, and as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out and woke up to my Qualcomm going off like crazy. Well, they ended up terminating me for not sending in a high value shutdown message, basically telling them that I was going to bed for the night. Like I said, they could have given me a warning on it, but, some companies are out there just to benefit, So they ended up making me turn in the truck, and because I couldn't pay for it. So needless to say, I was out of all that money that I just made. And not made, but, that I paid towards that truck. So you got pluses and minuses there. I learned from my mistakes and stuff like that. That's why I'm leasing to a company now, or through a company, I should say, where I can take my truck to multiple carriers, as long as they're a partnered group with that. We'll just call them a dealership, okay? Everybody knows that I got my truck through Quality, or Quality companies, okay? Is it the best deal in the world? Hell no. Am I getting screwed on the deal? Hell yeah. Every lease purchase, no matter how you think about it, okay, you're going to get screwed on the deal. I don't think there is a single lease purchase out there that actually benefits the driver and doesn't benefit the company at all. Because if there was, what would be the point of it? Because everybody in this world is out to make money. So that company that you're buying that used truck off of, that new truck off of, they want to make some kind of money off of it. So with them making money, you're losing money. So you're going to get screwed in a little bit. To the point of how bad you get screwed is completely up to you, and that's the decision of where you're going to go to lease a truck instead of buying one out of a dealership. Okay? There's some pluses to it, no down payment, stuff like that. There's another, way you can look at it is, it's a walk-away lease. I don't have to worry about anything. If it doesn't work out, I can just turn in the truck and walk away with nothing, no faults. Well, to a point, that is true. If it doesn't work out, yes, you can turn in the truck and it doesn't hurt your credit and stuff like that. But then again, some of these people, they go out there and they damage the truck. They get hit, they hit things, and you turn in the truck and it's, a pigsty inside, and you're missing half the bumper or the half the hood or whatever the case may be. There's a good chance, or even if you turn in the truck with bald tires, there's a good chance that company that you're leasing on can turn around and send you a bill to repair that truck back to working order. So that's another thing you need to check in the lease is worst case scenario situations like that. If the truck gets hit and you didn't have the damage fixed because say somebody hit you at a truck stop and took off and you didn't even know it, but you come back to your truck from eating or whatever, it's damaged, nobody knows who hit you, all this, and you didn't claim it on the insurance or anything like that, and you want to just say screw it and turn in the truck. Are you going to be reliable for that damage? That's what you need to make sure of in your lease, or whoever you're leasing from. Okay, so we're talking about being stuck to a company, stuff like that. Another thing that kind of goes along with that is, are you going to be getting paid per mile, or are you going to get paid percentage? Are you able to find your own loads and stuff like that? What's better? Percentage is usually better, but then a set rate per mile might not be bad bad at all either. Like for instance, where I'm at, I get a set rate per mile depending on where I'm going in the country. It changes for regions, or I get a percentage, whichever one pays me more. So where I would benefit from that is like if I'm down in Florida, everybody knows that Florida sucks for dry van freight. You're lucky to get anything over 85 cents a mile coming out of there, So where the company would take that loss, I gain because I'm making my guarantee rate per mile, So that's a win versus percentage. Because if you take a percentage of low-paying freight, it's still low-paying freight no matter how you look at it. But then where you can benefit, if you got a high-paying load, you get a high-paying percentage, okay? But anyways, with going on and continuing, so hopefully we're going to try to make this video a little bit shorter than what my last two have been. So you're stuck at the company. Hopefully you can pick your loads, because if you're at a company and you don't have the opportunity to pick your own loads, what's to say you're really a lease purchase operator? Just because it says lease to on the truck, or just because you're making truck payments? I mean, if you think about it, okay, if you have no way of choosing your loads at all, okay, that company can kind of, you got to think about it like this for a second. That company has a way of controlling how much you're going to make. Because if you go to where we're going, say Memphis, Tennessee, you go to Memphis, you deliver your load, you're early, you're on time, all that kind of good stuff, and they go, oh, well, we can't find nothing for you today. And then the next day comes, and oh, we can't find nothing for you for that day. Now you just got stuck there, not making any money. Granted, you get a 34-hour reset out of it, or whatever you may want to look at, but you're still not making money. Your truck only makes money when it's moving. Well, that way, if you have the choice that you can find your own loads on top of whatever, if the company has to, finds you load, and then if they can't find you nothing, then yeah, you can go out and go on a load board, whatever. At least you have that opportunity that you can find the load. It may not be the best paying load in the world, but at least you might be able to find something to get you slowly moving, just a little short hop, to get you somewhere where you can make more money, or at least get a better paying load. Instead of just being stuck there. Let's see here. Another con about being a lease purchase driver. You are now responsible for your tolls, your skills, and all that kind of stuff that goes along with that. Okay, that's all out of your own pocket. Granted, it's a tax deductible, but when you're getting paid a set rate per mile, say you're going from Indianapolis to somewhere in Pennsylvania, right? And you're running along across 80. Your set rate per mile might pay you, say, $1,000 for that load. And it's going to cost you, say, $500 in fuel. So now you're making $500 profit. But then by the time you take off all those tolls, now you're not making too much. Those tolls across those, 80 and all that, that's not cheap. So you got to take those into the mindset. Now, granted, some companies that you're leasing to will pay for the tolls or will reimburse you at least for the tolls and or for the scales and so on. Okay. But another thing you got to look at too is if you're looking at buying a house, or say if you just bought a house or something like that, right? Well, we'll put it this way. Let's say you just bought a house and now you just started doing lease purchase because now you want to make a little bit more money to help you, make that house payment just a little bit easier. You got to think about it this way. There's not always money in lease purchase. There's times that you may make money, and there's times that you may lose money and go negative. Well, then you're going to be playing catch up, because you got to always remember every week, no matter if you're home or that truck is broke down and in the shop, that truck payment is due. So you gotta time you gotta time everything just right. You gotta be able to manage everything. When you take off home time, how much home time you're taking, because that truck payment is still due. And if that truck payment is due and you're not making any money because you didn't run, now you're in the negative. Now the week that you come back out, now you got to play catch up for the stuff that you're already in the negative for, then plus the positive for that current week that you're on. Okay? So there can be, some ups and downs about that. Okay? Another bad thing about, pay-wise and stuff like that, like say, okay, you've been a lease purchase operator for a while, and now you want to go buy a house. Or you want to buy this, $70,000 or $80,000, say Skyline, right? You want to buy this Dodge Challenger Hellcat, Now you have to prove that you can make the money to afford that vehicle or that house or whatever. Well, as a lease purchase operator, you want to itemize your taxes to show the least amount of money that you can. So if you actually made, $50,000, you want to bring that number way down. You want to show a lot, that you made a lot less, so you don't have to pay as much in taxes. Okay. So now let's say you're going to buy this, $200,000 house, which depending on where you live could be a brand new house or just a crappy ass shed in the back of somebody's yard. If you live in California or whatever. But so you got this house that you want, it's $200,000. You're making good money as a lease purchase driver. Now comes down to getting that loan for that house. And they see on your last 1099 and your last, after you got done with filing taxes, that, hey, you're showing that you only made 20 grand for that whole year. And they're going to look at you and say, there's no way in hell that you can afford this house. So it helps you to be a lease in a way, but it can also hurt you. Okay? Just like the little guy trucker, or little trucker show, or whatever his name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I do watch his videos. He's broke down now. He's got some regen issues and stuff like that. Well, while you're broke down as a lease purchase operator, you're not like a company driver now. You don't get paid breakdown fees. So now you're out of money. So now you're in the shop. Say, for instance, like he is. You're in the shop, not making money. He had to turn down a couple loads. So there goes that money. Truck payments are still due. Keep that in mind. Your truck payment is still due. But he still broke down. Okay? There's no breakdown pay. Now, if he wants to rent a truck to continue making money while his truck is down, now you got to pay for that. That's just not given to you. Now, some companies will loan you out a truck, but they still charge you for it. Some may not charge you, some may, it's hard to say. It all depends on whatever company you're leased to. Okay? You don't get layover pay as a lease purchase driver either. So if you go somewhere and there's just no loads, you're stuck. You ain't making no money. There's no, hey, okay, I'll sit here and make, $120 on layover pay or $150 on layover pay or whatever that company, paid you before to lay over because they didn't have any freight. Or because the load got delayed until the following day or something, You don't get paid for that. Okay? Let's see here. Kind of talked about taxes. Trying to go over my notes real quick. Fuel management is another con. But then it can be a plus too, because you got to have good fuel management. Okay? I saw a post on Facebook the other day of a green W900 cruising down the road, and I think somebody made like a little meme out of it or something, or meme or whatever the hell they're called, out of it saying, why am I always passing these kind of trucks in my Volvo? Well, they have fuel management. They're paying for their own fuel while you're driving a company truck. They're managing their fuel. The slower you go, the better fuel mileage you're going to get, for the most part. Some will sit there and argue and say, oh, no, that's not true, that's not true. But, in my research from what I've been doing long enough, granted, I can average decent fuel mileage at 70, but I get a lot better fuel mileage when I'm doing, 65, 63, stuff like that. So you have those opportunities like that to make money off of fuel. You got to benefit. You got to manage. Let's see here. I believe those were all the cons. At 22 minutes. Wow, we're getting a little long. All right, so let's go with the pros. Okay? You're going to make more money. Right? That's everybody's reasoning behind going into lease purchase. Make more money and more home time. Well, like we previously said, you may get paid, you may not get paid. So, are you really making more money? You got to think about that. For the most part, I can definitely say, yes, you should make more money. Will it be a whole lot more? Will it be, thousands of dollars more? Possibly not. A couple $100 more a week? Sure. But now you're paying more in taxes too. So you got to think about that. Okay? Let's see here. The main pro, to being a lease purchase operator or starting the lease purchase program, I guess you can say, is you're getting your first start. No money down for a lot of them, No credit check, so if your credit's horrible, you can walk in there with no money down and drive away with the truck and start making money. The other plus, like we said, was the walkaway lease. So that way you're buying a truck, and if it doesn't work out for you, at least you gave it a shot, and you're not ruining your credit taking that shot. Okay? You also have more choices of where you want to go. Okay? You can choose whether to go run only I-40 or I-10 or only run the northeast or southeast or only run the northwest or southwest. However, you have a lot more opportunity to run the area that you want to run. Now, before I forget again, on the con side, kind of going with that whole breakdown situation, that's another con because now you got to prepare for breakdown. That's more money you're losing per week because now you got to put away for maintenance, along with putting money away for your taxes. Okay? Let's see here. Another pro that you can consider, it's kind of, I guess you can kind of say it's like cheating the system. But, if you take a vacation, right? Like, say, for instance, I pack up my family and I take a trip out to California. Okay? Actually, let's say Florida. Let's do Florida. I pack up my family, I throw my family on the truck, and we go to Florida. Take a load down to Florida. So now I'm getting paid to go to Florida instead of paying for airfare to Florida. Okay, so we're making some money there. Now, while we're in Florida, we decide to go to Disney World and all that kind of stuff. So now we're paying for hotel rooms and rental cars and stuff like that. Can you technically write that off as a business expense? Do you not know the answer? It's a fine line. You are vacationing, right? But you're not doing anything for the business. So fine line wise means, you have, when you're doing your taxes, you have so much that you can write off as enjoyment taxes. Like if you're buying a video game and stuff like that, you can write some of that stuff off for entertainment, movie theaters, stuff like that. Or you can turn around and kind of cheat the system if you wanted to and say, hey, I was looking for work at Walt Disney World. I went to inquire if Mickey Mouse was hiring and needed a truck driver. That's why I needed the rental car. We parked the truck at the truck stop. We rented a car. We went to Disney World to find out they were hiring for drivers while you're riding all the rides and going to do whatever you want to do. Right? So, I mean, there's different ways you can do that. Is it the right way to do it? Probably not. Can you get away with it? That's for you to take that chance and find out. So, all said and done, you got your pros, you got your cons. Thank you guys for sticking with me this long, if you're still with me, hopefully. There's a lot to it, okay? Like you've heard all the pros, you've heard all the cons from my mind. If there's anything I miss, I'm not going to record another video. I'm done recording the same video for the 4th time now. So, if there's anything that I might have missed that you are already familiar with, drop that into the comment section below so that way other people can pick up on that. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Share it with anybody that's thinking about being a lease operator, or who knows, maybe already currently is a lease operator that might need to know a little bit of things. Definitely share that. And with this video being done, the next video will be coming out here in a couple days for part 3 of Who Do You Think You Are? The owner-operator side of it. Okay? Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for watching this video. Also, in the comment section below, I meant to put this at the beginning of my video. In the comment section below, if you like my videos now like this, with the better audio quality, granted you don't see my ugly mug, but you're seeing the road, and you got the good audio quality, let me know if you like that, or if you rather prefer seeing my ugly mug on the screen. With that being said, everybody drive safe, don't text and drive, make that money, be profitable, and enjoy what you're doing. Drive safe. We'll see you on the next video.